just a few days ago, I went out to a pasture, my great niece, it's her property, and went out to see if I could get a picture of an owl. They had seen an owl in a barn out across from her place. So I went out there early in the morning, and I'm sitting there and in the middle of the pasture in my blind, and all these cows came up and they're all around my blind. They're sniffing around. They're trying to figure out what in the world's going on and who's this inside there. And I hear this hoof and this pounding and this hoofing coming up. And I look over and here's this bull. And this guy is huge. He's enormous. He's got these huge horns. And all I can think of, I hope he's not in this pasture where I'm at. Luckily, he wasn't. He was over in the pasture next door, but it got my attention. Had to get a picture of him, and he was just as ornery as the picture looks. So I'm glad he wasn't in with me. And then I did the countdown with the drone because, well, Tony, you had your drone up just the other day. I was doing that in your honor. And then we also have Don online. And Don, we have enjoyed your videos of the PCT.
Oh, very much.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, Don,
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of videos of the hikers doing the PCT and such like that. But the shots you take and the time you take the animals, the plants, I've just not seen that from anybody else. And it is, and I enjoy it. I wait every other day, you know.
You figured out when I'm posting, huh?
Yeah.
I do that because I get behind sometimes, and I want to make sure I don't get behind. And I right now I've got 3 in the hopper coming out, and I got to get some more done.
They are fun, very fun, and it's you know, Tony and I were talking about you last week and said, you know, it's also fun to you show where you were at 2 years ago and say, well, you know, we were camping right over there,
Right.
What we had over here, and I can't even remember where I was 2 years ago. So I'm impressed.
Well, I think it was because it was such a torturous time 2 years ago, or almost 3 now. It was seared in my brain.
And then you got water everywhere, and I've never seen that in most people's. I mean, you have not had a water issue. Well, some of it's nasty, but it's water.
Good water last year. I don't know how it's going to be this year. It doesn't seem like they've had a whole lot of moisture, at least in the southern part. So far.
Yeah, we've been dry down here.
Yeah, they barely had any snow in San Jacinto, which, you know, usually that gets pretty bad, but there's still time.
Yeah, we're supposed to get snow in 2 days here.
Really?
You know, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't see that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I got to go down to Oklahoma City here on Wednesday.
I don't think it's supposed to get that far south. I think Oklahoma City's supposed to be okay. It's supposed to sweep through Kansas, well, Wichita, Topeka, southeast Kansas, back up into Missouri. So.
Okay, well, maybe it'll miss northwest Arkansas then.
Yeah. Oh, my. Yeah. You know, it's this time of year. You never know what's going to happen this time of year.
Oh, there's snow between me and San Diego right now.
There is snow between you and San Diego?
Yeah.
No kidding. It's crazy.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, are you kidding me? We're getting a heat wave, windstorms. But no, they're getting snow just down the road.
Yeah. Oh my. So did you have a good time getting out in the desert again, Tony?
Oh, always.
You spent a couple of days out there, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I had a few spots I haven't hit yet out there looking for rocks, so
okay.
I decided I was going to spend, 3 days, 2 nights out there.
Nice.
Nice.
Have you found anything interesting recently, or?
I found some pyrite.
Okay.
Some interesting rocks. I pick up rocks that I find interesting, get them back, clean them up. And a lot of times they just go in the yard art pile. But that's just the way it works.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have been working on some rocks that I've had for a while.
Oh, that's neat.
Well, The camera's going to pick it up. But
Yeah. Is it
Is it a
Is that
diamond or a?
quartz?
no, this is a carnelian agate I've had for probably 20 years. I finally found somebody to cut it up for me, and I've been working making bouquets out of them. What the wife calls these things.
Oh, that's neat.
And of course, she takes my rocks when I'm done with them and makes the jewelry.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome stuff. I really like that ring. That ring is just it's
I do
very
too.
classy.
I didn't
Yeah.
want any jewelry, I'm not big on that one, but I've been carrying
Yeah.
the same rock around my neck for years.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, I did this one. It was a black quartz crystal, and I was like, well, let's see how it comes out,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, better make me a ring out of that one.
Bika likes it too.
Yeah, I mean, silver and black matches everything.
Yeah. It'd make good cowboy outfit. So yeah. Don, you were out working before you came in here to sit down and
Yeah, so I haven't talked to you guys in a few weeks. So my daughter is back in the States.
oh yeah.
Nice.
She's back in Tempe. She just got herself another apartment, and she's going to be coming out here on Friday. So I've been trying to clean up this room so she can stay in this room, and then which means cleaning up the garage a little bit too to make room for stuff.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of familiar. I got both of my sons leaving this evening from Washington, moving down here.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd probably be gone by now.
You're just hanging out waiting for them to get down there?
We decided we're going to stay till the end of March, and then probably make a beeline through somewhere in the north.
Before it starts getting too hot.
Yeah. You've been in the desert.
Yeah.
You know what too hot is.
Yeah. I've been in Tempe in March, and it's blistering hot in March in Tempe too. So I know you're even farther south.
Yeah. Oh,
And
I'm going.
then, we're going to be heading to Oregon in a couple of weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm going to go see my son and my granddaughter. And
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I told you guys, but I'm going to be I'm going to be a granddad again.
No,
Yeah.
an oak leaf cluster.
They're going to have another kid in August. And right now, it's going to be a boy. So I'm going to have one of each.
Nice.
Very nice.
Now, Oregon should be great this time of year. Cold, wet. Hope it doesn't snow on you.
Yeah, my son said he's already going to put me and my other son to work helping him build a fence for their house that they're moving into. So, a lot going on.
Yeah. I'm ready. You're not old enough to be a grandpa. You should read Vika.
Well, I'm 58 and my son is 26. He just turned 26.
I'm expecting my first grandchild on August this year.
Wow.
And I'm younger than 58.
Well, I'm not quite 58. I'll be 58 in August, but that's I'm in the year.
Right.
I've got 8. So just bring them on in. They're awesome. You don't have to worry so much about the responsibility. You just spoil them. Let mom and dad take care of it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the plan, yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Just
brother
being so
just
far
retired.
away.
Yeah, that's tough. But mine are too now. They're all, Virginia and North Carolina. I've got one granddaughter living in Chicago,
Hey, Jacob.
but yeah, it's good.
Hey, Jacob.
It's hard to be that far away. Hi, Jacob. How are you? But yes. Yeah, I'm leaving in 2 weeks, but I'm going out to West Kansas to do a Milky Way drive, try to get some Milky Way shots in different
Starting to
places.
see it now.
Well, yeah. Well, right now, yeah, it's not. It doesn't rise until almost sunrise
Yeah.
here, but another week or so, and it'll be doing okay. And it's not so bad because it's like 4:30 in the morning. It's when I can take the pictures,
That sounds about right.
so I can at least sleep a little bit before I have to do it.
I always try to get up before the sun up and go outside.
Yeah, about 4:30 is when I typically would wake up. So I just have to wake up an hour early and then I can get out there.
Well, down here outside that early in the morning, it's still not cold.
But yeah, here.
I might have my flannel on, but it's not cold. Always in the shorts and sandals.
Oh my.
Except when I'm out camping. When I'm out camping in the desert, I wear my hiking shoes and wool socks,
Yeah.
This last trip, I couldn't wait to get back, get those shoes and socks off my dang feet.
Really?
Because it was hot out there.
Yes. Let's see. Last Saturday, visited Texas Tribal Buffalo Ranch.
Where is that?
Yeah,
Texas.
Where is that, Kevin? Kevin's always finding some cool spot to go to there in Texas. Yeah.
Charlie, Merton, and Sue, hi. Figured you guys would be on the road still. I think they're heading to Texas right now.
Oh, are they? Southeast of San Antonio. Yeah. Well, any projects you guys? Tell me you got your rocks and your.
Yeah, I got a ton of rocks I'm working on.
And Don, you're preparing for a visit.
Yeah, just putting my videos together and just trying to pretty much straighten up the house now at this point. Start getting ready for warmer weather. I get the lawnmower fixed up here pretty soon.
Lawnmower. I don't miss that.
My wife loves to mow the lawn, and we have a push mower, so she like go for it.
Oh my. Yeah, bless her heart. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm going to try to build a little bird sanctuary in the backyard.
That's a good idea.
So, I'm going to take and put up some. I got this big oak tree back there, and so around the bottom of it, I'm going to put this little retaining wall, and then fill that in, and then put some fence posts, some metal fence posts up that I can lay like tree limbs across these fence posts and put perches in, and then put a couple of bird feeders in the middle of all that. So maybe the birds will come in and light on the perches, and before and after they go eat, and I can sit back there in a blind and take pictures, see what kind of birds come in.
You think about just setting up a trail cam or something too, for when you're not.
I hadn't thought about that, but I could do that. That's a good idea.
Because you're not going to be looking all the time.
No, that's a good idea.
You might miss something.
Yeah.
Because once the birds figure it out, they become regulars.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out now is, when would they come in? I put a couple of feeders out there so I could just sort of see, because I'm noticing, they come in early in the morning, and then they come in for lunch around 1:30, 2 o'clock for a little bit, and then in the evenings is when they really come. So yeah. that's sort of the plan. And then I put a owl house up. I've got a big old pine tree, and I put an owl house in the top of that pine tree to see if they would come. So, yep, you see. I'm
That's
getting a
cheating.
spam
You
call.
know that, right? That's absolutely cheating.
Hey, you're absolutely right. I'm not
On
even
the other
gonna be
hand, you kind of
ashamed.
got to do what you got to do to get pictures of owls.
I'm not even ashamed about it. Yeah, you're right. But yes, they are. My nephew, he sent me a picture of that one owl that was in the barn. So I went out and took a picture of the barn. I don't know if I can get that and pull that thing up, but it was I cheated on that one too. Let's see if I can pull it up here. But yeah, here we go. Oh,
No, Sue, that was Dan's phone.
yeah, it's
Or
my
it could
phone.
be my pop-up flapping in this wind.
No, it was my phone. I was getting a spam call. Let me see if I can. I don't know if this thing will load up. If it will, I'll show you what I did. So go. Maybe it won't. Maybe it won't. But yeah.
It doesn't do any good if you lose them.
Oh, here it is. How do you like that?
And where'd you get that's a
Wow.
nice barn picture, but where'd you steal the owl from?
Did you Photoshop him in the window?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I took both pictures. I did get the owl, but that was in North Carolina.
Okay.
Oh, you took one of the ones from the zoo and put it in there. That's pretty
I
cool.
put it in there. But my nephew sent me one, and he sent me the picture, and there was a barred owl right there, just like that. But it was with his phone. It was just a fuzzy picture, really
Yeah.
hard to tell. So I went out there, spent all day, and then I went over to that barn, climbed up in it, and you could see where the owl had been in there, and where it had eaten and all kinds of stuff. But he didn't show up that day. So I came home and I said, well, you know what? I bet I can fix that. So I put it up on Facebook, and I started out saying, this is not real. Okay. I don't want anybody thinking that I got a real picture, but I did take both pictures, just different times and different states.
Well, you can. It's pretty obvious because of the shadow.
Yeah.
That's what I do with a lot of my thumbnails. Is I'll kind of
Yes.
crop them in there together, make it look like I'm somewhere else.
Yeah. I got this little guy yesterday, little bluebird.
I saw that one on Facebook.
Yeah, he was a pretty little thing. So, yeah, trying to do something in my spare time. I just tell you, you get in here and it's cold and I can't get outside and I just get in a slump. And I just think, man, this is just stinks.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You wouldn't. That's when I try not to get envious, Tony. I start thinking, man, Tony.
Well, even when I'm stuck, I still got lots to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I still got a bunch of videos to edit out. And try not to fall behind on that.
Yeah.
And as you know, with the rocks, they keep me busy because every time I go out, I bring back some. And I got, a lot of rocks I haven't done anything with.
Yeah.
Well, that last ice storm that came through here, Dan.
Uh-huh.
I guess it's been a week and a half now or so. My son, right as it was starting that morning, my son thought he needed to go get a coffee or something, and coming back, he slid off the road and hit a power pole.
No.
Totaled his car. He was fine, but
Man.
He didn't even hit it that hard. It just crunched the frame underneath the motor mount and everything.
Yeah.
And the insurance said they're just going to total it because.
Yeah. He didn't wreck the pole, did he?
No, it was a big
Those
metal
things get
pole. That was
expensive.
yeah, thank goodness. And we just had a conversation. I just went through his insurance with him, like not even 2 weeks before that. And I was saying, no, you want to keep the personal property damage because if you hit something and damage something and it's your fault, then they're gonna go after you for it. And if you don't have insurance for it, you're gonna have to pay for it.
You're gonna pay, yeah.
So, but no, it was fine. But I couldn't believe it. I saw the car and I was like, oh, they can fix this. And then I heard they totaled it, and we went up there and looked at it finally when it cleared up enough. And yeah, sure enough, it was just the little brace that the engine sits on. It's all unibody, and it just crinkled it, folded it like a napkin. Yeah, it was a good car too, man. But anyway, so he's without a car right now, saving money because he's not making his payment. Well, he did have to make his payment one last time, but he'll save about $700 a month for a couple of months anyway. I think he's getting antsy to have some wheels because he doesn't like depending on mom and dad to taking places. Luckily, he works from home.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Martin and Sue came down last week, and the wife sat down with Sue and made her make her own little pendant.
Nice. That's good.
She had fun.
I was, cars. I don't know. I had a little car in North Carolina, and was leaving to go to work. Left out. I wasn't doing. I mean, I was just pulling out. So I wasn't. I know I was under 20. Deer runs out of the ditch right in front of me. I hit the brake. So I'm slowing down below that, and I just clipped the deer in the hind quarter. The deer spun around. It's like slow motion. It was like it looked at me in the wind, and then he took off running. Didn't even. I don't think it hurt the deer at all. And they totaled my car out.
Wow.
Yeah, headlights are getting expensive.
Yeah. Plastic stuff is expensive stuff. Yeah, it is nuts. So
his airbags didn't even go off. That's what's crazy. His front right bumper and everything's all crunched in.
Oh, I'd put that on the manufacturer then. He should have at least got a black eye from the airbag for it.
Maybe found it in the lesson. Hey, when it's bad out, don't go out.
Oh, me.
Yeah,
It's good to see John on here.
At the car repair place or whatever, they showed us a vehicle. It didn't have a scratch on it, but somebody had just slid and hit a curb, and the side airbags went off on that.
That'll total it.
Yeah, it was like, and his didn't even go off. It's crazy.
That is crazy. Wow. Huh. John Noble, he's on here. See, he's my brother that lives in Australia. Not really, but we say that.
He's not really your brother, or he doesn't live in Australia?
He does live in Australia, not really my brother. Well,
so he's up early on tomorrow.
Yes, he is. Yes. And he's got a great YouTube channel. He does videos, really nice work. And he does a lot of drone stuff, Tony. And of course
I need to do more. I always take it with me, but I hardly ever put her up.
Yeah. I'm gonna do this Milky Way series, sort of like a documentary, and so I'm gonna try to take my drone for that one and put a lot of it up. So, Southpaw Studios. I love it. I love it. Now, John, is that yours? Is that another name for your stuff? Let's see. And then Vika, she's still recovering. She was on here. I don't know if she's still here with us. She's getting ready to go out to back on the trail here soon, I think. Well, that'll be good.
She's from South Carolina, right?
Right. Yeah.
I've heard about fires there somewhere.
There's a lot of fires going on, South Carolina and North Carolina. Not John's. Okay.
Yeah, I did so much hiking around that last trip. My dog was limping when we came back. He was so sore. he usually always out hikes me too.
Yeah. Well, he's got twice as many legs.
That makes it easier, I think.
Yeah, good. Like 4-wheel drive.
Definitely on the climbing.
Oh, me. Well, welcome from Indiana. That's one of the things I do enjoy about this, that you get to see people from all over.
That's true.
Yeah,
Jerry.
Kevin says his dog out hikes him too. It only different, your dog's huge.
There's a little
Tony.
difference in the size of that.
Yeah, his dog, his little legs have got to be digging.
And his dog probably eats more than mine does.
Probably so. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I
Hello,
think
Box
my
Car.
dog is
How
the
you doing,
jumping
Jerry?
in and out of the Jeep all the time that gets to him.
Mm.
'Cause
How old is he?
I'll drive 100 yards. Oh, I'm pulling over here. Get out, hike around for a while, and then get back in, do it again.
How old is your dog?
He's 7.
Oh, okay. So he's middle age.
Yeah. Working on 8. It's always old for his species.
Yeah. Yeah. Big dogs. Does he have any joint challenges? I mean, like he didn't have his hip displacement or anything like that.
No, his only challenge is staying off those cactuses. You wouldn't believe. I carry my Leatherman with me because you wouldn't believe how many times I have to bust that out to pull a cactus out of his foot.
Oh, poor guy.
And if you get them on its
Man.
body, that's simple. You bust out a comb and you just rake them out.
Yeah, yeah. But in his foot. Oh man, that's gotta hurt.
He's been doing this desert life long enough. You think you could learn to
You'd-
stay
yeah,
away
you'd
from
think
certain plants.
Oh my.
Be hiking around. Next thing you know, he's down there laying down, licking on his paw. In this last trip, I ended up pulling out like 6 of them out of his pads and 1 out of his tongue
Yeah, yeah.
because of him
Good
pulling them
grief.
out with his teeth.
Oh, he's trying to. Oh man. Well,
Work's a good idea too.
yeah, to get the thorns out of there. But those are big thorns.
No, just getting them off the hair.
Oh, okay, okay. I was thinking,
When you
man,
get some cactuses will just pop onto you, and
oh, okay.
using something like a comb or a fork is a great idea for just you just comb them and take the right off of them.
Huh.
I've learned
Man.
that the hard way too.
By not getting them off.
No, the first year they didn't know that they couldn't rub up against the plants.
Oh,
So
oh.
it took a little learning curve before. He doesn't run up against plants very often anymore. He'll lay down, get one on his arm or something like that, or his leg
Yeah.
on his arm. But yeah, I just I always carry a comb on me, so I'll pull it out, comb them off.
Me. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those
Do
are
they
bad
have
ones.
those little hair type thorns?
No, they're if you barely touch it, it
Yeah.
grabs you.
Oh, really? Oh,
Literally, if you just barely touch it, they got little tiny hooks on them. And you
Little
don't get
barbs.
those out.
yeah.
So don't ever grab one. Stepping on them is bad enough because you can't even. You got to find a rock and start grinding your shoe. I pulled them out of my car tires.
Oh man, nasty stuff. I'm looking at Don's back wall with the trails on it. My daughter got me an AT puzzle. So I got the Appalachian Trail, and we just put it together, Don. So now I'm gluing it, and it's going to go back here on the
Nice.
wall here.
Yeah, you'll have to show us when you get it up on your wall.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
I'd like to see that.
It was tough. You know, some of the things was easy because it had the names and had labels. You know, so I recognized where it should be on the trail.
Where it goes on the trail.
Yeah, but then it had other things, you know, in there to just make it hard, and it was a
that
bit
the
of a
one
challenge.
that was like 3,000 pieces or something?
It had 1,500.
1,500? That's a lot.
And yeah, and I'm not a puzzle person. Yeah, that's California, and then you got the CDT in the middle, right? And then the AT on the.
Yeah, he's got all three trails up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yep, Triple Crown.
I think Tracy's got a permit this year for the PCT, but she's still kind of on the fence a little bit. I think she's leaning towards starting after we get done in Arizona. She'll pop over there, and I'll head back here with my son. But I think later in the summer, I'm going to do some back up in Oregon and Washington. So I'll be up in maybe your neck of the woods, Tony. How close are you to the PCT? I don't know if I asked you that.
Oh, not far. I just don't know if I'm going to be up there this year. I might be closer to the CDT this year. Because
really?
my
By
kids
September?
aren't the only ones moving down here. I'm moving down here too.
Oh, by September? Because that's probably when I'd be there.
No, I'll be back here in August.
Okay.
That's when the kid's supposed to be born, so the wife's not going to miss that.
No.
And normally in August, I'm on the lake up somewhere in Washington, enjoying nice, cool water.
You'll be all right. You won't miss the water so much when that baby comes in.
Yeah, we'll see. I miss the water when I'm down here for sure.
Yeah.
And up here on the Colorado River, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
Because it's just a trickle by the time it gets to Mexico.
Really?
Yeah, not much left.
Well, in Moab, it's certainly. It's
Oh yeah, in Moab, it's quite the river still.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start getting more south, and you start getting into these farmlands that are, you know, even the water we have coming out of the faucet here is from the Colorado River.
Huh.
Not well water, because you can't drink the well water.
Too
We
much.
don't drink the water out of the faucet either, so.
Doesn't that help feed Lake Mead or Lake Powell too?
Both.
Both of them?
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, and the water, I mean, California takes a ton of the water. Nevada takes a ton of the water. Utah doesn't really need it much, but Arizona takes a ton of the water. I mean, I've been across spots where I could walk across the river.
Huh.
Literally walk across the Colorado River. I got little streams in Washington I can't walk across.
Well, I walked across the Mississippi.
Did you?
Yeah. Way north.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's just, you can just jump across. But, yeah. It'll be very fun. It is amazing what the waterways do.
Well, they have, dams all up and down the Colorado
Mm.
so that they can store up water. In those places, yeah, the water's a pretty good amount because it's slowed down so much.
Uh-huh.
But you get down into the south here, on Highway 8, you drive right across it. You look down there, it doesn't look like there's much. And
Ah.
I've seen it down in next to Mexico too. I've been down by the border and seen it. Like, it's not much left. I mean, how much of this water still drains into the ocean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when it does drain into the ocean, does it drain in there at Baja? Is that where?
No, I think, if I recall, it's Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, really?
I think. Let me double check real quick.
The Gulf of what?
You heard me. No, you
Oh,
might be
well,
right.
it is.
I think it is in Baja.
Okay.
It's hard to track because it really doesn't. Yeah, Colorado River dumps into the Baja.
Okay. Because it's on that side of the Continental Divide. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So where are you in relation to Tucson?
A couple hours.
Southeast or southwest?
Southwest.
Sorry, I'm looking at a map too while we're talking.
Yeah.
My trail name is Atlas, so I have to look at maps.
Yeah, look stuff up. Well, actually, I'm probably northwest of Tucson, according to the map.
Huh.
Yeah, a little bit
Did
north.
Did you look at maps when you were on boat again? Also, Don?
Oh yeah, although they're charts then, but
Yeah.
It's still a map.
that's what I did when I was bored when we were driving on. When I was a kid, I'd have the road atlas out studying it.
Yeah.
Well, there's a whole lot of nothing kind of west of Tucson.
Oh, you get to Yuma, and there's nothing west of here for sure. 'Cause I think California borders on Yuma.
Huh.
There's nothing west, Arizona.
There's a town of a junction at the junction of highways. It's called WHY.
I've been there.
Have you?
Yeah. Kind of laughed about that one too.
Is there another one called Because or what?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure there is. Some of the smaller towns and stuff like that out in the middle of nowhere. Boy, I don't think they were very creative with the names. I think we went through a town up in Utah that was called Stop. We did not.
You kept going until you got to go.
Yes, which there's a town to go to. Like I said, I don't think some of these people are very creative.
Well, that always cracks me up about Missouri is that, you go to Missouri and you got all these names of different places. And I think it was just that they just told their wives, well, we're here in Mexico, so they called it Mexico, Missouri. They just named it what it was, what they wanted it to be. And that was the name of it. And they didn't want to go any further.
Yeah, I think most of the people are just confused.
Oh. Well, I was just seeing what the weather was here because the wind's picking up outside here too. It's supposed to really get windy. I'm listening to yours, Tony, and
It's calmed down here.
Yeah, it's picking up here.
About 9, woke up about 10:30, went back to bed about 3:30, 4 o'clock. And, you know, it doesn't matter. Still up at 6. Just doesn't matter, you know. A little bit tired, but yeah, it's calmed down a little bit.
Okay.
I had to get back. I had to get up, move the hammock away from the wall because the wall was just slamming me right in the side constantly. And like, I can't sleep. Moved the
Yeah.
hammock, laid back down. Well, one of my stakes pulled out. So the whole wall came in, was slapping me again.
Oh man.
Like, all right, heck with this. Get back up. Go, you know, re-anchor the thing. I'm not sleeping now.
No, no, no. Oh goodness.
And we've had a couple spells where you couldn't see. Last night, I couldn't see the town of Yuma lights, and I'm not far, where the dust just got so thick.
Oh really?
We've had a couple times today. We're down here between Yuma and Fortuna foothills, and the hills just disappeared a couple times too.
Wow.
And 45 miles an hour, flat open plains. You know about the flat open plains.
Yeah, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
You're gonna get it. And I saw some sandstorms that, you know, the sandstorms were 15,000 feet elevation.
Oh, easy.
And,
Not today. It didn't get that
we would
bad.
be
It was
in a
moving too
helicopter.
fast.
I used to have a picture in the back of my office when people would snivel. They'd come in, you know, oh, it's just too hard, or oh, this is whatever it was. And so I had the picture, and it was from a crew chief helicopter. We were flying, and they saw the sandstorm coming. So the pilots just set the bird down in the middle of
Right.
the desert, and the crew chief jumps out, and he's just, you know, he's anchoring it down so that it doesn't get blown away, so we don't just start rolling.
Start ripping the props off and
Yeah, and so he's anchoring us down, and the sandstorm hits, and he's got his fire extinguisher out there, and he's hiding behind the fire extinguisher. And I took the picture, and he's just covered. He's just covered. And so I had that blown up, and I put it behind my desk. And so when someone would start to complain about whatever, I'd say, you see that guy? All he is trying to do is survive. You know, and you think it's that bad?
Complain about.
You need to be out there in the middle of it all.
This is the first time this year I've had to actually grab my buff and wear it because it just got so thick for a while. And I mean, I had it up to here, over the eyes, over the nose, the whole works.
Wow. Wow. Can you see through it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but it does help with the dust.
Yeah. Yeah. That's. Oh.
That was earlier today. It was just, I don't know, around noon. I was out. I was like, man, it's whipping. Almost to the point where I'm up here holding on to hold this thing down. I walk out and it's like, oh man, I can't see. I go to the Jeep, grab my buff, pull it up, pulled it on. Well, it didn't come down very far. Left my eyes covered.
Yeah.
You saw that video I had with all the sand in my tent?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That night I was literally like just, doing this, just trying to breathe, and not breathe all that crap in. And I'm sure I breathed a lot of it in, but
Yeah.
it was bad.
You don't carry a buff?
Yeah, I had one. I had that too. But
You can double them over, triple them over, whatever it takes.
yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. I've never had that much in a tent without staying in one place for a week.
Yeah. Well, and that's a nice place to stay, except for the dirt blowing, because they didn't have any grass where they let everybody put the tents. If I'd have been smart, I would have staked out a place on that little stage with everybody else, where I could have just cowboy camped. I wasn't.
Well, I gotta shake out my sleeping bag, my hammock, everything before I go back to bed, because we got a layer of sand everywhere.
Yeah.
I
hate that feeling too.
Yeah.
I do too. It's just, it's in your mouth, it's all over everything. You can't take a drink of water unless you got.
I don't even want to think about how much is in my ears.
Oh, yep. Oh,
That doesn't come out so easy.
yeah. And in some places, it's that fine, really fine silicone type sand, and it's silica, and it just
Coats everything.
Oh, it does.
And even with the motorhome, which is sealed up, there's a layer in there.
Huh? Yeah. That's wild.
You know, I got bowls out here full of rocks that I've had sorted and stuff like that. Looking for one today, and I was like, man, I got like almost a 1/4 inch of sand in the bottom of the bowl.
No kidding.
And it was clean when I started. The rocks were too.
Yeah, I was feeling for Don when you were talking about the sand, and then all of a sudden you showed it, and here it was, all in the bottom of your.
Well, when he showed that one shot, I thought, oh, did you rip your tent? That's why the sand's in there.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
that's just sand.
Yeah, that was coming through the bug net, you know.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, the same thing, that you got a hole in it somewhere.
No, that was coming through
That
the
goes
bug net.
through the screens, no problem.
Oh man. Yeah.
And you can't anchor it tight enough to the ground to get away from it either.
No, it actually ripped out one of my hold down strings on one of the corners. I had to repair that kind of impromptu before I went to bed.
Yeah. I was going to ask you too, when there was one space, you were hiking down the trail, and it looked gnarly. I mean, it looked like you were right on the edge of a huge drop. Was it as gnarly as it looked?
Was it the place where I was coming into Cajon Pass and I put a little thing on there that said, this is really steep drop off?
Yeah.
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 It looked really steep.
It was 100-something feet probably, if it was anything. And then you kind of walk up that little hill, and then I could look back and see it, but you could see also down in the thing. And and then just coming around that curve, the trail coming down off of that was pretty sketchy and narrow on the other side. So
now go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's why I had to put the camera away, because I didn't want to trip and fall off the side of the cliff.
Yeah.
Or drop the camera off the side of the cliff.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's one thing I learned quick. I put a strap on my phone. I carry this all the time, and I can put it on my wrist.
On your
Like that.
hiking stick.
Yeah, going over a creek. That way, if I drop my phone, it's still on my wrist.
That's smart. That's very smart.
So
Yeah, I dropped my hiking pole. Let's see, where was I? I was in North Carolina. It dropped. I'd stopped to take a picture or something, and it slid off of me and slid down over the side of the mountain. And I'm thinking, I just lost my trekking pole. I have to have my trekking pole because that's my tent, you know. But I looked and I could see it hanging off the limb of a tree. It was off the side of it. And I'm stretching out over there, and then I'm thinking, I hope I don't start sliding. Because if I go sliding, I'm going to slide off the right of the side of this mountain.
Hanging off a limb of a tree, too.
Yeah. And I did get it. I got it, and I pulled it back up there. But, man, it was...
I did something similar in Northern California, too. I was just walking along, and I don't know, my pole hit my foot and knocked it out of my hand, and it went down the side. Luckily, it didn't go very far, but it was too far to reach with my other pole, and I had to actually take my pack off and butt scoot down a little bit and grab it, and then kind of scooch back up.
Do the full crab walk.
Yeah, and I'm like, what a dummy.
The things we do.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
But you guys hike with 2 poles. I only hike with 1.
Oh, yeah, I need to.
I've always hiked with a walking stick for so many years. So I'm used to 1. And my trekking pole tent only takes 1 pole. So that's a double bump.
Oh,
Hmm.
Do you have a Durston, or what do you have?
Oh no, I have gosh, what is that thing? River Country.
Oh, okay.
It's a small, light tent. Only takes one pole. But it
Yeah.
sets up just like all the other single pole tents. It's in your way, no matter where you
Yeah, in the
point the
winter.
bottom of the dang stick.
Yeah, yeah. My I really like my Z packs. They're very proud of them, but I still like it.
Yeah.
Still like it.
Well,
Pretty
considering
good.
mine was only $40 and I've had it for almost 7 years. I
No
think
kidding.
it's pretty good, and it's still under 2 pounds.
Yeah, that's a good price. That's a
Well,
really
I
good
had to
price.
waterproof it myself. I had to do all the seam sealing myself, but it cost me a couple bucks and some time. No big deal.
Vika says her Durston has two poles. Do you have the one person Durston tent, Vika, or do you have the 2-person tent? I think even the one person still takes some poles. There's a
That-
tent that takes
I
one.
had the 2-person on PCT,
Okay.
and it took 2 poles. But I've got these poles. I refuse to buy new poles because I bought these poles at like a Big 5 Sporting Goods about 8-10 years ago for like $10, and they've been the best poles for $10.
That's the way I am. I always go for the cheapest I can find first, within reason, for all my
Yeah.
equipment. And I picked up a trekking pole for like 12 bucks. I don't even remember where it was. One of the outfit stores up in Washington. I've been using that thing because I had to have a trekking pole for that dang tent. My walking stick's 5 feet tall. That's not going to work.
It's not gonna work. Yeah.
It would if I tripod at the top of it and anchored the tent to it, I could do it. But
Well, that's
I'll
so.
just get a cheap trekking pole, and that's the only reason I use it.
And I've got the original Durston too, so you have to put the trekking pole with the tips up. And my tips
Oh.
are so worn that they don't fit in the grommet very well, and that's why sometimes if it blows out and they fall down, it's a big pain in the butt. But I refuse to get new poles.
You can get new tips.
I know I've tried. I can't
Can't
find
get
them
new
that'll
ones
fit
for it,
that
huh?
because it's like a cheapo Sierra Designs brand, and I don't know. I haven't been able to find any.
And you haven't worn them out too far yet.
The metal bit is almost into the plastic.
Okay, so you're almost done with them.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I really like them.
Oh my. Yes.
Mine
Get these things. They're like
Isn't
they
even
become like
worn.
old friends. Yeah.
I hardly ever hike with my poles or anything. So 9 times out of 10, mine's just strapped to the backpack. That's it.
I'm always liking.
They save my knees. They save my back. They
Just
save
help
my
with
life
balance.
sometimes.
When you're stepping down off rocks or you're crossing a creek or on a log or something, they really come in handy.
Yeah, I need a bigger backside pad for that. But yeah, I can see the log walking, when you're rock hopping and stuff like that across streams.
Yeah.
I can see the
Yeah.
absolute use in them for sure.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, I just walk right through the water. I don't care.
And I had
Yeah.
a little bit of a slip in some snow and ice in California that I just had microspikes and I didn't have an ice axe, and I had to dig in with my trekking pole to stop. Yeah.
I've had to do that with my hands.
Yeah.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that scared me.
Nothing worse
I'm
than
like
having to
Vika,
take
I
your
think-
hand and go just like that into ice to stop. It
Oh,
hurts.
man. Yeah. I'm like Vika. I think mine saved some broken bones before. My brother and I, we were on the Mountain to Sea Trail, which goes across North Carolina, and we were on this in the again going sort of around a ridge, and the trail was sloped like this, and that's the edge of the when it's on the back side of the canter. It's on the edge of the mountain, and I started sliding and just took that pole and dug into the ground and kept me from going sliding off. So yeah, I like my poles.
I don't think
I have-
mine would save me like a regular walking stick could.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been climbing some pretty steep stuff and started sliding. Was able to stick
Yeah.
my walking stick right into a wedge and hang off of it.
Yeah.
I've also done that with my arm. I got some pretty good scars for that. But and to get back up, I just climbed up the walking stick, stood on it, pulled it back out once I was in a safe spot.
Well, check out Bika's last comment, and that's what you need to do with your walking stick. It's got a bear tooth on it.
I have a bear tooth on it.
I think that would probably attract them. They'd probably go, "Hey, that's my uncle."
What did you do to him?
All right, might need 2 bear teeth. All mine's got is it's like I said, it's 5 feet tall, about 1 3/4 around.
Yeah.
Alpine fir, probably
Yeah.
150 years old.
That
Leather wraps on it, so I always got. It's always been a safety thing having the leather on it.
I thought about using a single pole like a monopod. You know, if I had one that I could put my camera on it, use it like a monopod. That would be.
Well, you get that tripod like mine, I can strap it right to my walking stick.
Well, true. Yeah.
I haven't used that in forever, but if I'm here in August next year, yeah, I'm busting that thing out. I'll probably strap my knife to it. Snakes are a real thing.
Yeah. You probably have rattlesnakes out there too, around you.
No, haven't seen any yet.
Oh, okay.
Haven't seen any scorpions yet either. And believe me, I'm always out looking. Don's seen more rattlesnakes than I have.
That was a big rattlesnake.
It was a big rattlesnake. I would have caught him and eaten him.
Oh man, I just try to see them. I get away.
I'm with you. I just don't want to be around them. Oh my.
Oh, definitely use poles, at least one. But
I understand the good reason for using 2 poles. I mean, I absolutely, especially on the downhill stuff. And then balance, you know.
See, and I've taken, like when I'm going downhill, if it's really a sharp grade, I'll extend my poles.
So you're still in the right length with your arms?
Yes. And then the same thing, if it's a steep grade going up, I'll shorten them and I'll dig in and almost like cross-country skiing. You know, I'm pulling myself up with my poles. So, yeah, they take a lot of strain off my knees and my back.
I'm sure if I was doing long trail, I would be more into that for sure.
Yeah. But watch these young folks, and Don, you've seen them. You know, they go right over it, running, and
yeah. I wish I was 25 again.
I don't. I don't want to go through that again. I'm too stupid. I'm not that smart now, but I'm better than I was.
I started when I was young, doing the hiking and camping, you know. And when I was 18, I had a 65-pound backpack. That was my camping trip. I do not want to go back. I do not want to go back to that stuff. I'm in mountains with 50-pound packs. No. I'll stick to my 20-25 pounds I work with. I'm good.
That's what I like. I like about a 20-pound pack. I can do that.
Now carry more water, like out here in the desert. You're at 25.
Well, yeah, but that's the point. You know, it's if I can lighten my load, my base weight, and then you can carry more. Of stuff
I only carry my GoPro and my phone. I don't carry my big camera with me when I'm hiking. You know.
Yeah.
And you got like 12 pounds of camera equipment.
It's true. It's true. Yep. But I'm thinking about when I go to Spain. I'm just going to take my GoPro and my camera.
Well, you have to take. Well, you got to take a sleeping bag, but you're not going to need a tent.
Nope.
Food,
Don't need
very
it.
little food, very little
Yep.
water.
Yep.
You could probably get away without even a sleeping bag if you just bring a really light blanket or sleeping bag liner sometimes, because most of the places
Oh,
that
that's
don't have
true.
blankets,
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
it's pretty cold and you might need something a little more.
You
but
do want something around your body.
Yeah.
Either way.
What I'm thinking about really is taking my sleeping bag liner. You know, it's a silk liner, so it's small, and then I've got a down blanket. It's a 40-degree down blanket that I could just if I do get cold at night, I could put that on me. It's really light. That thing only weighs.
Because you're basically hiking from hostel to hostel, right?
Yeah. About 10, 12-mile days. Hostel.
That's perfect.
I'm watching this Irish guy hike the Camino Frances right now. He started in end of January, I guess, or the beginning of February, and he's seen some pretty cold days, but it's been pretty nice too, and a lot of days. But yeah, so it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and he's going. He's probably. It should be pretty cold. I mean, if we go, in September, the Masada might be hot. That 3 days through the
Might
desert.
still be hot, yeah.
So
We hiked most of it in May, and it was warm, pretty hot a few days, but it was pretty chilly at night too.
okay.
Yeah, so it cools off.
Bring your
In
umbrella.
the albergues, was it chilly?
Some of them were, not heated, like the municipals. Sometimes the big open bay, like a bunch of things like that, it can get kind of chilly, but
Okay.
not too bad.
Okay. Well, guys, guess what?
Time's up.
Time's up.
Flies when you're having fun.
It does. I would stick around, but I'm hungry. I've been hungry all day. It's just been a crazy one of them days.
Yeah, my dogs.
I get them once a year.
Hungry?
Hungry for a day once a year.
Well, thanks for joining me. It's great to see y'all.
Yep, thanks everybody that in the chat.
Yeah, watching out for bed bugs. When she did the Camino with her sister got bed bugs. Poor thing.
Yeah, that can't happen. That was one of the worries, but most, I mean, all but one place that we stayed, they were really clean, and
yeah.
I just treat your sleeping bag liner with permethrin before you even go.
Yeah.
You won't have to really worry about them too much. And bring your own pillow.
Yes.
I've heard a lot of people comment about that one too.
Well, they have a lot of them would, if they didn't have like regular pillowcases, they would have those kind of like white, almost paper.
Like paper?
Kind of, but like, the medical suit kind of covering.
Yeah.
Disposable ones, right? They could just pull them off every night and put a new one on.
Very good.
But,
well, I think I'm still here next week, and then I'm gone for a couple of weeks after that. Yeah. Then I'll be gone until April. So if you guys are around,
it should be. I just don't know what we're doing with our daughter yet, so I'll play it by ear.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm up in the air with the kids coming down this week. Probably going to take, because I'm going to have my camp. They're bringing my camper down here too. So the wife might be going camping. So
that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Maybe we can get Bika on here and have some class join us. Ken surprised me. PTL, he sent me a note. He got to the March picture on the calendar.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I said he's never going to figure that one out because because that's a park in Kansas City. I don't talk about it, but I did talk about it in one video. And he goes back and he watched all these videos till he found the one that I was talking about. This place. He said, "Is that Kansas City?" Yes, that's Kansas City. All right.
Yeah.
Y'all take
All right,
care.
everybody have a good night.
Thank
And thank
everyone.
you for coming.
Hey, everybody.
Take care. God bless.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Don.